Imagine a time when epic stories of faith and survival were woven into the fabric of a nascent civilization, the biblical and patriarchal period of Jewish history. This epic, spanning from around 2000 to 1200 BCE, is a tapestry of tales that have become cornerstones of the Jewish faith. Here, we meet the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, figures whose lives and legacies are deeply intertwined with the origins of the Jewish people. We journey with them from the lands of Mesopotamia to the promised land of Canaan, witnessing profound acts of faith and divine intervention. The narrative continues with the monumental exodus from Egypt, a story of liberation and revelation that culminates in the reception of the Torah at Mount Sinai under the leadership of Moses. This period laid the groundwork for a unique religious and cultural identity that continues to resonate today. Enter a time of conquest and settlement, a period of forging a home in the promised land of Canaan. Following their epic exodus, the Israelites set foot on Canaan's soil, a land flowing with milk and honey, a land promised to their ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This era wasn't just about settling down. It was about establishing a tribal confederation, creating a sense of shared identity and purpose among the 12 tribes of Israel. It was a time of transition from nomadic wanderers to settled tribesmen, a transformation led by figures like Joshua and the Judges. Joshua, a man of unwavering faith, led the Israelites in their conquest of Canaan, while the Judges, a succession of leaders, provided guidance and governance in this new land. They were the torchbearers, leading the way in this uncharted territory. This era was a time of establishing roots and consolidating power, of transforming a group of tribes into a unified entity. Picture a time of unity and prosperity under the rule of great kings. This was the era of the United Monarchy, a time when the 12 tribes of Israel banded together under the leadership of King Saul, King David, and King Solomon. Now, King Saul was the first to rule, but it was under David that the monarchy truly flourished. David, a shepherd-turned-warrior, turned king, established Jerusalem as the capital. Following him, Solomon, renowned for his wisdom, brought about an era of peace, prosperity, and cultural development. His most significant contribution was perhaps the construction of the first temple in Jerusalem, a monumental symbol of unity and a central place for worship. This temple not only solidified the faith of the Israelites but also marked Jerusalem as the spiritual center of the Jewish world. In this golden age, the seeds of a nation were sown. Now envision an era of division and turbulence, the era of the divided monarchy. In the wake of Solomon's death, around the early 10th century BCE, the once united kingdom fractured into two distinct realms. To the north lay the kingdom of Israel, and to the south, the kingdom of Judah. Political discord and geographical separation shaped these two kingdoms, each developing its own distinct identity and destiny. The northern kingdom of Israel, larger and more populous, was a vibrant and prosperous land. But prosperity did not ensure stability. Over roughly 200 years, it saw a rapid succession of rulers, many of whom met violent ends. Eventually, this instability proved fatal. In 722 BCE, the mighty Assyrian Empire swept in, toppling the northern kingdom and marking the end of a turbulent chapter in history. This period marked a significant shift in the political landscape. Witness a time of upheaval and transformation, the Babylonian exile. This period, spanning from around 586 to 539 BCE, was a significant turning point in Jewish history. It began with the conquest of the southern kingdom of Judah by the Babylonians, a powerful Mesopotamian empire. The Babylonians, under King Nebuchadnezzar, not only seized control of Judah, but also brought about the destruction of the first temple in Jerusalem. This sacred site, built by King Solomon, had been the heart of Jewish religious life. Following the destruction, a large portion of the Jewish population was exiled to Babylon. This displacement was more than a physical relocation. It represented a profound cultural and religious shift. Away from their homeland, the exiled Jews faced the challenge of maintaining their identity and faith. The Babylonian exile was a watershed moment in Jewish history, reshaping the course of Judaism and the Jewish people. Step into a period of renewal and resurgence. The Persian and Second Temple period. As the curtains of history part, we encounter a remarkable figure, Cyrus the Great. His decree allowed the Jews exiled by the Babylonians to return to their homeland. Their spirits rekindled, they embarked on a mission of restoration, culminating in the rebuilding of the Second Temple in Jerusalem. The temple's completion was not just a physical triumph, but a symbolic resurgence of Jewish identity and faith. Yet the period was not without its complexities. It witnessed the emergence of diverse Jewish sects, the Pharisees, Sadducees, and Essenes. These groups, with their distinct interpretations of the Torah, shaped the religious and cultural landscape of the time. Their differing beliefs often led to tension, yet their collective contribution enriched Jewish thought and tradition. This era was a time of cultural and religious evolution. Dive into the era of Greek influence and Jewish independence, the Hellenistic and Hasmonean period. Alexander the Great, the legendary Macedonian king, swept through the Persian Empire, bringing with him the sparkling culture of Greece. The region, including the Jewish homeland, was imbued with Hellenistic thought, sparking a fascinating interplay between Greek philosophy and Jewish tradition. But not all Jews welcomed this foreign influence. A group of religious zealots, known as the Maccabees, led a revolt against the Seleucid Empire, a successor state of Alexander's empire. This revolt, known as the Maccabean Revolt, was a defining moment of Jewish resistance and resilience. Their victory led to the establishment of the Hasmonean dynasty, a period of Jewish self-rule that lasted over 100 years. This historical chapter was a whirlwind of cultural exchange, political upheaval, and fierce determination to maintain Jewish identity and independence. This period was a blend of foreign influence and nationalistic fervor. Now, bear witness to an era of conflict and catastrophe: the Roman rule and Second Temple destruction. The Romans, under Pompey the Great, seized control of Judea around 63 before the Common Era. This marked the beginning of a period of Roman dominance that would last for centuries. Roman rule was harsh and oppressive, leading to widespread discontent among the Jewish population. Tensions simmered, eventually boiling over into full-scale revolts. The most famous of these was the Great Jewish Revolt, which began in 66 of the Common Era. This rebellion, however, was brutally suppressed by the Romans. In the year 70, the Roman legions, led by the future Emperor Titus, laid siege to Jerusalem. The city fell, and the Second Temple, the heart and soul of Jewish religious life, was utterly destroyed. This was a catastrophic event, marking a significant turning point in Jewish history. This was a time of profound change and loss. Embark on a journey through time, across continents, the era of diaspora and rabbinic Judaism. The cataclysmic events of the 1st century CE led to the Jewish people spreading far and wide across the Roman Empire and beyond, forming what we now know as diaspora communities. These communities were not just geographical shifts, they were also shifts in the fabric of Jewish life and culture. Amidst these changes, a new form of Jewish religious practice was taking shape: rabbinic Judaism. This was a shift from the temple-based practice to a form of Judaism that emphasized the Talmud and oral traditions. The rabbis, or Jewish scholar teachers, became the new leaders of Jewish life and thought. They guided their communities through a period of great change, preserving the Jewish heritage while also adapting to new circumstances. This was an era of adaptation and resilience. Experience the ebb and flow of acceptance and persecution in the medieval and expulsion period. From the 5th to the 15th centuries, Jewish communities found themselves scattered across Europe, Africa, and Asia. In some regions, they encountered periods of relative tolerance, living peacefully among their neighbors, contributing to local economies, and participating in cultural exchanges. Yet, other periods were marred by intense persecution. One of the most notorious instances was the Spanish Inquisition in the late 15th century, a relentless campaign of religious intolerance that culminated in the expulsion of all Jews from Spain in 1492. This period was fraught with hardship. However, it also bore witness to the remarkable resilience of the Jewish people. Against the odds, they managed to preserve their faith, their traditions, and their sense of community in the face of adversity. This was a time of trial and tribulation, but also of endurance and survival. Finally, step into the light of the Enlightenment and the modern era. This period marks a significant shift for the Jewish people. In the 18th century, the Jewish Enlightenment, or Haskalah, emerged, championing reason and the integration of Jews into European society. This shift wasn't without its challenges, as Jews faced both acceptance and deep-seated prejudice. The 20th century bore witness to one of the darkest chapters in human history, the Holocaust. Yet, even from the ashes of such immense tragedy, the Jewish spirit remained indomitable. In 1948, the State of Israel was founded, providing a homeland for Jewish people worldwide. Today, we continue to see the evolution of Jewish culture, religion, and identity, from the innovation in Israel known as the Startup Nation to the thriving Jewish communities across the globe, each contributing to the rich tapestry of Jewish life. This era, our era, is a testament to the enduring spirit and resilience of the Jewish people. Remember, experiences bring families together,